and I can't go on in search of all these payments. Yeah, I'm on my feet and I'm ready. And lately I've been trying hard to get it. Baby, you know the times are changing, and I can't go on in search of all these payments. Yeah, I got no energy, all my friends ahead of me. Yeah, I see their work, it reminds me of all our memories. On my phone since I'm just restless. All this pressure seems to be a problem, cause lately I'm acting reckless. Can't go on this rendezvous, I'm drinking brews. Yeah, Steam account's been kinda cool, that's all the news. Now foreign girls, they call me too. I'm not a fool, yeah, maybe that's just how they do. That's not my crew, no, no. I'm on my feet, don't you get it? And all my riders coming with me. Baby, you know the times are changing, and I can't go on in search of all these payments. Yeah, I'm on my feet and I'm ready. And lately I've been trying hard to get it. Baby, you know the times are changing, and I can't go on in search of all these payments. Yeah.
Really you, yeah. But you can never walk alone on your way to being free. Really you, yeah. But you can never walk alone on your way to being free. Really you, yeah. Really you, yeah. Really you, yeah. But you can never walk alone.
On the way to being free.
Really you, yeah. But you can never walk alone on your way to being free. Really you, yeah. But you can never walk alone on your way to being free.
On the way to being free.
feel passion for something or someone that makes my world turn upside down. Wanna give it up for something or someone.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I'm your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today, wherever you happen to be tuning in from. Really hope you're doing good, guys. So, here we are today on the 23rd of May, 2019, foul year of our Lord. What do we got going on in the markets today? Oh, everybody called for the end of Bitcoin today. We are at support. It could not possibly go any higher, but having a nice reaction off of what, guys, as we talk about every day, the daily baseline. Let's talk about secondary strategy. You can, again, advanced methods talking here of PTP, you can have limit buy orders placed in the vicinity of the daily baseline. There are only two ways that we are allowed to play reversals pursuant to PTP strategy, and that is if utilize an indicator like time transformation or MINX that is designed to give you reversals in the direction of the dominant trend. So not reversals against the dominant trend, but reversals in the direction of the dominant trend. Or if you take a reversal off of the daily baseline, but your order has to be filled. There's very specific rules that have to be fulfilled for these trades to take place. However, as we get into more advanced PTP strategy, we'll break that down. Anyways, guys, I want to give a shout out to everybody following us on Facebook Live, D Live, YouTube, and Twitch. Getting a little bit more systemic here. Let's see here. Let me give a shout out to everybody. Let me give you this. Let me give everything an upload real quick. I want to make sure that I can pull up an D Live's chat over here because I was having trouble popping that chat out. Let me see if I can do it now. Aha! Ooh, D Live chat is pop outable. All right, great, cool. Got everything. So shout out to you guys. Thank you. You're doing fantastic. Of course, if you are just coming for some reason, you just found the stream in the browse section, you never come across this before, don't go anywhere, guys. God forbid you find something, you hear something that you actually like and decide to hang around here. And if you do, I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. Of course, we appreciate that. If you hit the bell, you'll get notified every day when we go live because we are here every day from noon to 2 CDT and 5 to 7 on the weekends, guys, across all 4 networks. So let's see what's going on, guys. All right. We got a lot to talk about this morning, guys. We got a lot to talk about. As you can tell from the title of from the title of today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about the U.S. Copyright Office. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. CryptoMeister, good to see you, brother, over on Twitch. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the U.S. Copyright Office has revealed or put out a publication to clarify where they're actually sitting as far as Bitcoin and Craig Wright goes. So this is really interesting to see. We're going to break that down. We're going to talk about the latest in the BitMEX and Tether court battle with the New York Attorney General's office, of course. We're going to talk about, this. Let's see here. A couple articles that I thought was interesting that I haven't really gone over is $200 million in crypto being seized by Dutch law enforcement. Yikes. And of course, Bitfinex's new platform, TokenX, they're not going to seek a regulatory approval. That's not really, anything. And then, of course, for any of you universal basic income fans out there, Bitcoiners slamming Andrew Yang for his cash is king comment. So that's not going to be, let's slide this out. And of course, guys, we talked about PHX, Red Pulse Phoenix token. Of course, it's gone by many names. Moving from the Neo chain to the Binance chain, the Binance Bucks chain, BNB chain. So PHP is now live. You can't trade it, but the order book is on Binance if you guys want to go in there and get ready, baby, because it's going to launch and it's going to go live. Of course, we're going to break down the markets and the charts as well. If you guys have any questions, make sure to throw them in there for me to get over. So without further ado, let's get over here to the charts. All right, here we are live. Looking at the scene of Bitcoin, having a nice reaction. Currently trading at 78.54 on Bitfinex, 78.59 on Coinbase as well. Really like to see that Bitfinex premium, that Tether premium, has become a discount. So if anything has come out of this, it is to see that premium has been knocked away. What do we see as far as sentiment goes? Shorts dropping off a little bit as they are taking profit massively, as they should be, and longs continuing to drop off. So not a lot of confidence in the general way that one would view sentiment toward this movement to the upside. So let's get into our regular charts and see what we can do based upon this information. So we're going to start off with the Bitstamp chart as we do here on the daily time frame. the most important time frame for active trading. Let's take a look here. Now, I'm not going to show it today, guys, but what I've been working on for the last 2 days, really, extensively, is finishing the Minx code. So I've run that through the strategy tester. All the guys in the Primo section, I've shared that information with them, shared the screenshots. That's going to be in their hands very, very soon. And time transformation is actually going to get a rewrite because you can't see it now because I'm not going to put it live on the air yet. I'm going to wait until I roll it out to the primos and fix any potential bugs that might be in the code, which I don't think there will be many, but something might come up, an alert might not work or something like that. But anyways, I've actually improved the hit rate of time transformation signals by about 13% on this latest upgrade. And time transformation already was extremely accurate as far as the signals that it generates. So I'm very happy that I was able to do that. And more than that, I've actually changed just a few visual aesthetic components of it as well. So it still has all the same features. It still detects divergence. It still detects oversold and overbought areas where a reversal is likely. But again, we don't trade reversals around here. So what do those act as? Those act as take profits for PTP strategy. However, of course, you can use it. And one of my original ideas with it in the first place was to use it as a reversal strategy. However, through back testing, we've come to find out that this actually replaced 2 primary indicators that I was using in my PTP algorithm all along. So a successful venture is born through experimentation and testing. DaVinci, thank you so much for the 100, my good friend. POE and LRC. Let's check them out, brother. All right, going on to the schedule. All right, make sure you guys go and check out DaVinci's channel in our Discord as well. That man knows what he is talking about. POE and LRC. Sorry, just entering now, thinking of going $1,000 on MATIC. What do you think? Well, take a look when we get to it. Let's finish breaking down Bitcoin and Ethereum. What do we have true on Bitcoin today? Are we above the daily baseline? Check. Is Wada Atar telling us to get into a trade? No, but when we're looking for a continuation trade, we don't really care what that says. We are looking at time transformation. We have not gotten the cross back up to the upside. So keeping us out of this trade so far. Let's actually disable Wada Atar signals. That's something that I talk about depending on what you're using for your primary indicator. Some people choose to use Wada Atar, and some people choose to use time transformation. I personally use time transformation as my primary indicator. However, it's fine if you do want to use Wada Atar. They both backtest quite well. It just depends on what signals that you'd like to get. And of course, Minx as well is, I think, probably once this gets rolled out, which again, I really hope I get time. I should hope I get time. It's been nothing but busyness over here, guys, in cracking cryptocurrency. So ideally, that's going to be rolled out this weekend. So again, code's done. I just have to publish it, write some stuff, get it into people's hands, and make sure that they like it because it works quite well. Again, very efficient tool. And then we'll probably start using that on stream as well as our primary. Because again, it's going to be very hard for me to get away from utilizing time transformation for my public analysis because of the signals that it generates and because of how accurate it is and how well it keeps me out of trades that I shouldn't be and how well it gets me into trades that I should be in. But Minx does the job extremely well too. It's almost down to a matter of preference, but Minx is better. Minx is good in a different way. All right, so daily time frame. So there's no trade to be taken on the daily time frame. We'll see how the daily candle close brings us. Again, this is all keeping us out of taking a long position yesterday. Or excuse me, today. Yesterday, give you guys an update on my position. I was long on this movement to the downside. I was in drawdown, and I did take a loss. I exited my trade in the window of when we modify trades, when we modify current existing trades or put on new trades. So that was about, let me double check over here. I know the dollar value, but I want to give you guys the P&L. Here we go, close results. That was 3.72% loss to the downside. So average entry of 79.85, got out of the trade at 76.88. Didn't have to wait until the candle closed because, again, we trade within a certain window when our indicators have as much data as they're likely to have. So, and that's all right. Again, here's the thing about trading. Nothing about that trade or that loss discomforts me in any way, shape, or form. Why? Because I know that over time, I am a profitable, consistent trader. I know that on average, I win more than I lose. It's no different than playing poker or playing at the casino. So if you guys want to check out currentresults.crackingcryptocurrency.com, you can see our logs for the entire month going all the way back to week 1. You can also go to results.crackingcryptocurrency.com. We publicly post all our trade results from our premium trading group, all the trades that I put on myself personally. personally are all listed online. You guys can go see it. And as you can see, I'm quite comfortable with that loss because overall this month, we have been absolutely crushing it. Went long on altcoins when we should have went long on altcoins. Went short on altcoins when we should have gone short on altcoins. So it's all good. Nobody wins every single trade. And the important thing is, one of the most important things as a trader is to know how to deal with a loss comfortably. So I know people are going to come on the show, and again, it doesn't really bother me. People are this way kind of in real life. And they think that as a professional trader, if you don't nail every single trade that you're somehow like a bad trader. No, most of those comments come from people who are not good traders or professional traders in the first place. Again, all that matters is my equity curve at the end of the year, and every single year that I've traded cryptocurrency, I've beat the market. So that is what your mentality and what your philosophy should be when you do incur a loss, which you inevitably will once you start implementing structure into your life. Just as I advised a member last night, we were talking about a certain trade setup, and he was asking whether he should have taken the trade. And I ran him through PTP and I ran him through all the checklists. I said, should you have taken this trade? And he looked at all the requirements that we have to have for a PTP trade. He looked at all his indicators. He looked at his risk, and he realized that he should not have put on that trade. He had no reason to put on that trade. He entered into not a false signal, not even a signal. He just took a trade because. And I said, so what do? We exit the trade. It doesn't matter if that trade so for some reason pumps and hits your take profit, or if it dumps and would have hit your stop loss. It doesn't matter. You don't take a trade that you should not take, because once you do that, you are stepping outside of the strategy and the system that we know works, and now you are entering into the realm of speculation, where you are just taking a chance against the market. And if you get lucky, that is not an indication of success, all right? Because we don't trade on luck, we trade around statistical odds. That's how we have formed and shaped the PTP algorithm and strategy that our members use, that I use myself personally, because it is a system that works consistently over time and generates profits. Subjective trading does not. You can get lucky or you can be unlucky. And if that's how you guys feel about approaching the markets, I don't know. That's not how you approach your profession, your job, your personal relationships, your friendships. None of that stuff. So, structure, patience, discipline. Now, there's no trade to be taken on the daily time frame so far. However, what do we have? We have 2 of 3, so we can go down to the lower time frames and look for positional trades. 12-hour, we do not have a signal. 8-hour, we do not have a signal. 6-hour, we do not have a signal. 4-hour, we do not have a signal. 3-hour, no. And on the hourly time frame, we could have gone long on this candle right here. So at 8 o'clock this morning, we could have taken the long position and captured all of this pursuant to PTP methodology. You'd be up about, you could have captured, let's see here. Sorry, I want to make sure I get this right. 2.63%. And you would still be up currently right now about 1.77%. Again, a very nice intraday trade, capturing most of the movement to the upside here for Bitcoin. And you are about to get the exit signal potentially on the close of this hourly candle, potentially less. We'll have to see kind of how we go. 30-minute chart right here. You also, I assume, could have taken the trade. Nope, couldn't have taken it there. You could have taken the trade here on the 30-minute chart, and you would have been able to capture more. 3.25%. So the intraday time frames actually did you quite well today. PTP did give you a very good trade to the upside. And again, the other thing that I do want to point out is that, as always, secondary strategy, so not all the members are going to be on this level yet with PTP, but you can have limit buy set at the baseline under certain conditions. And as we move forward through PTP, we'll talk about what those conditions are, how those conditions need to be true. The only other way that we can trade reversals in PTP is by looking for particular indicators that can give you certain reversal indications or signals. Now, often that's only going to happen on lower time frames, for example, a 30-minute chart. Let's actually go and see if we can find one. And if I can find one, I'll display it. So what we need to do here is, this. So for CC emo, we need to go ahead and change this to the daily and uncheck this. Okay, great. So here's one right here. All right, so here's an example on the 30-minute chart. Using CC EMA's multi-time frame feature, we can go down to the lower time frames and see that price is still above the daily baseline, because this is now the daily baseline. I have transformed it from the 30-minute baseline into the daily baseline using CC EMA, which again is a public script. And we can see there's actually a buy signal right here. This is most likely a loss, but this buy signal right here does quite well and captures the bottom of the market, maximizing your profits. And then you can switch back to that. You can switch back to the regular baseline right here to actually get the regular PTP signal, which you would have gotten on this candle. So you'd have been buying here and doubling up here and then taking your profits here and here when you get the sell signals from time transformation right there. So great intraday trade. Again, all you need is one trade like this a day, and you are locking in your 1 to 2% a day. Now, let's move forward a little bit. Mike Weston 2, good to see you, brother. Marlon Jones asks, can we look at DENT? Yeah, sure, man. Oh, and Marlon, welcome to the group, man. Good to see you in there, brother. Hope you're doing well. Flame Proof Pants On, CDT, short term, any good? We'll check it out. Good to see you, Marvin. All right. Oh, so for some reason, hearing alerts. Let me turn up my speakers. That's what. Okay, there we go. So sorry for missing some stuff, guys. Let me just scroll through here a little bit. Wanted to thank Kanji, Rems Jiva. Again, thank you, Da Vinci, for the donation, my good friend. Inspect to Deck and Brian Coltzer. Thank you so much for the subscriptions on YouTube, everybody. Marlon Jones, Bulls on the Block, donating $2 through the super chat. Thank you so much, my good friend. He says, BTT, thinking about this after the daily candle close. Let's check it out, brother. BTT. And also, coming over to the Twitch, guys, thank you so much for the love over there. OMG Contage, Sincere80, BNOP 9001. Thank you for the follows on Twitch, guys. Always appreciate the love over there. And Gump, thank you so much for the 6 lemons on DLive. All right, getting back over to Bitcoin. So nothing to do right now. We just scrolled through all the time frames. There was no long trade to be taken. Of course, we cannot take a short because, why? We are above the daily baseline. So we trade trends around here. We do not counter trade the main trend. So the main trend is bullish, getting a nice reaction off the daily baseline. Obviously, exactly how to manage that is a little bit more advanced. I don't want to get you guys started there on how to trade reversals within PTP because, again, we can only trade reversals under certain conditions in PTP. So I want to leave that. I want to get all the basics knocked out and go through and make sure that everybody in the group understands the methodology before we get into the more tertiary and secondary features of how to trade PTP. So, nothing to do on Bitcoin today. If I were to throw out some wishes and fishes, guys, and talk about my prognostication about how I think price is likely to evolve, I mean, here's what we see. Here's all we know. We have a somewhat of a double top pattern over here, price pulling back down to the daily baseline. However, if we just look at historically, what we have done throughout this trend, every time we have pulled back down to the daily baseline, we have continued on up throughout this trend. So, the trend is your friend until the bend at the end. Do we see that bend right now? Who knows? One thing that we could point out is the lower high right here. Again, I've seen some other charts from other people that would actually indicate bullish chart patterns over here. Again, we don't trade chart patterns. We don't trade prognostication. We trade verifiable fact and data, and there is no verifiable fact or data to take any position on Bitcoin. So, as always, PTP doing its job, keeping us out of the market when there is no juicy trade to take, and getting us into the market when there is a juicy trade to take, as it had us in the market throughout this entire movement. Now, let's get on over to Ethereum. Getting on over to Ethereum, looking as always on Coinbase. Yes, we do like Coinbase over here. There's some noise. Yoni, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. As always, appreciated. And what is Ethereum doing as well? Pulled back down to what? The daily baseline, guys. Oh my God, it's like this stuff actually works sometimes. All right, we do have the order block that we were trading in, closed above it, pullbacks into the, pullbacks into the bullish breaker. I actually am now going to declassify this as a bullish breaker. This is now nothing, to be quite honest with you. We're going to keep it up on the charts for its purposes of what it is and what it has been. However, let's talk about the fact that when we consolidate typically within a bearish breaker or a bearish order block, typically that is an invalidation of that breaker or order block, and likely we do end up pushing through for the breakout. Now, here is the signal right here when we do via price action strategy, which is not PTP, so we're just talking wishes and fishes here, guys. When we close above the block, typically pullbacks into the block are to be bought because that is a high probability trade setup. Cal, dear, thank you so much for the sub. And that has worked out quite well. It worked out quite well here. Buying anywhere within the block has worked out quite well. However, we are now consolidating and pulling back into the block, forming a lower high on this movement, continuing to form a higher a higher low. So again, this is a symmetrical formation. If we were to look at it on somewhat of a lower time frame and kind of scroll this out, you could see the symmetrical pattern. Generally, when we see a symmetrical pattern, what is that? That's generally a continuation pattern. What was the previous trend? The trend was to the upside. When you get a symmetrical pattern, typically price continues in the dominant trend. Why? Because trends have a high probability to continue based on multiple factors such as herding, psychology, or confirmation bias. And that's why we trade trends, because they do. Trading trends does exploit trader psychology. So pulling back to the daily baseline, employing secondary strategy of having buys at the daily baseline would have you up in a profit on the intraday right here, about 5%. Ethereum giving a nice juicy trade for those who are doing that. No trade to take right now. Where's time transformation? Still listing lazily down to the 0 line. We don't have a confirmed crossover. Wada Atar is basically telling us to do nothing, and we are above the daily baseline, so we do have a bullish bias. But nothing to do as far as a trade, and that's okay. There's not always a trade to be taken. We take a trade when there's a trade. Going down to the 12-hour chart. Let's see here. Nothing to do. In fact, this is starting to shift a little bearish, at least on the 12-hour chart. 8-hour shifting bearish as well. 6-hour as well, reversing just a little bit over the 6-hour. 4-hour pulling up as well, but nothing to be done. 3-hour curling up. Now, the hourly would have given us this long trade here. Actually, nope, we couldn't have entered on this candle on the hourly. We could have entered here, and you would have had a profit potential of only 1%. So not the greatest intraday trade on the hourly. Let's actually go see and... Oh, okay, cool. A couple TPs. All right, let's see here. Let's actually go see what Quadrigo has to say about this candle, sorry. So long take profit 1, 246.56. Nope, I'm sorry. The hourly signal from PTP would not have hit on this hourly trade. Let's see how price reacts to the daily baseline. However, this is likely going to close. We have about 35 minutes and 48 seconds until this candle closes. So this is likely going to be an invalidation signal. And that's what's beautiful about PTP is that when a trade doesn't go your way, it often gets you out at break even or a very small loss, which again is the most important thing. Winners come when you do the right thing. Let's go look at my alerts here. Oh, that's a IOST. That's not even an active trade. Let's actually go and delete that alert. Probably down here somewhere a little bit. Go ahead and these. That was a trade from last week. Crushed IOST. Okay. Great. All right. Anyways, moving on. Oh, and of course we clicked on it. Getting back over to Ethereum. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. I bet that would have probably given us a good intraday signal. Let's see here. We could have gotten long. Nope, that's invalidated because we closed below the baseline. And we can get back in on this candle right here. So yeah, 30-minute chart. As with XBT, 30-minute chart PTP strategy actually giving us a great trade here. 2.9% profit potential and multiple take profits here and here, regardless if you're using Quadrigo or not. So the work is done for those utilizing PTP on the intraday timeframes, knowing that they can go down and look for a good setup. The work here for the day is done, guys. Again, there's nothing to do here. We will have, again, you guys know when we trade, you know the window of which we trade and we put on our higher positions. And honestly, there's just nothing to do here, as there hasn't been anything to do for the last 4 days. So moving on then. Let's get back over into the request. Here's the PHB chart. It is live. Also wanted to showcase it right here. PHB is live on Binance. You can't trade it yet, so the order book is not activated. You can't put in any trades. The order book isn't live, but this is going to go live at 0400 UTC tomorrow. So I recommend that you guys get ready. Get ready for this if you guys are holding on to PHX. So your PHX is now gone. Again, I loaded up 3 commas this morning, went and looked at my 3 commas, and it said your PHX has been bought. Actually, the balance has been subtracted from my overall account. So I was kind of expecting that, and I'm not very happy about that because that means that for the moment right now, it looks like I've lost about $1,000. But what I'm going to do is assume that when PHB is relisted, I'm going to be credited the PHB, and of course 3 commas is going to pick up on that. So not a problem, not an issue. Unless it becomes an issue. And if it becomes an issue, well, we'll talk about it. All right, guys. Baseline. So the baseline can be anything you want it to be. Mike is not on fire yet. You want to test whatever the baseline that you use. You can use a simple moving average, an exponential moving average, a weighted moving average, VWAP. You can use RMA. You can use super trend. You can use magic trend. You can use anything out there. There's all kinds of baselines. The baseline that I use that I find has the best results is the EMA 13. Yes. Is it a cost to hold a contract position on BitMEX, or is it just free to exit a position? It depends on how you exit. If you exit with a limit order, then you actually get paid. If you exit with a market order, you pay the market maker, or you pay the taker fee. Chainlink, Siacoin, and NPXS, ETH from missed attempts. Roll down and add these. Link, BTC, I'm assuming, SC, BTC, and NPXS, ETH. And Daniel wants ZERP USDT. All right. Richard says, sorry for the stupid questions probably, but which platform is the best to short long these coins as Coinbase and Binance don't allow it? Where do we do the trading now? So Richard, I highly recommend that you check out ByBit. I moved the majority of my trading. I don't trade XBT or Ethereum on BitMEX, or I don't trade Ethereum on Deribit anymore. I do have some Bitcoin on Deribit, but I do the majority of all my leverage trading on ByBit. There is a link down in the description if you would like to support the channel. That is the platform that I myself personally use. And Deribit I use as well. But in less degree than ByBit. EMA 13 represent. Yeah, baby. Okay, let's get into these requests, especially from the guys who tossed us some chin, guys. As always, appreciate it. Caldeer, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. Getting back over here into the charts, we'll look at the requests, and then we'll look at some news, guys. Some news that I think is interesting anyways, whether or not you think they're interesting. Let's look at, that was BTC. Let's not snub Da Vinci. Poe BTC. Let's look at Poet for you, brother. Daily time frame. When did time transformation initially tell you to go long on this bad boy? No. Here on the 20th. Yep. So Poe is one of the ones that came up on our daily scan that I listed 2 days ago. So I want to point this out, guys. And again, this isn't bragging. This is just when you do things right, good things happen. Let's look at something. I mean, there's so many examples. I'll actually just list them all. And you guys who are listening and paying careful and close attention can actually go verify for yourself. Okay, so premium signals. This is a channel that all premium subscribers have access to. And I'm just going to go back and I'm going to list. Oh, sorry, I scrolled like way up for some reason. All right, let me find it. Sorry, guys. Okay. KNC, ELF, Lumens, Raiden, ICX, GRS, Poe, IOTX, WPR, DOC, DNT, Ziliqua, Data, Yo-Yo, Go, Rec, QSP, AST, Vibe, Vib, Agi, Monetha, ICX, and ZIL. Okay. All of those were called in the premium signals, right? All of them were shown that if you do your daily scan, those are all trades that you can catch utilizing PTP strategy, which is what we teach. Almost all of those coins pumped insanely. As we said 2 days ago, guys, low sat coins, get yourself some low sat coins. We're not altcoin pumpers and baggers. We trade. There are times when the market conditions look good. There are times when the market conditions look bad. And guess what? 2 days ago, market conditions for low sat coins looked good. What is a low sat coin? Anything under 1,000 Satoshi value. So Poe was one of those. This came up on the daily scan on the 24th. Was a good trade, good entry right here on the close of this daily candle. You had about 8% profit potential so far, and it still looks quite good and healthy. Let's actually get rid of. Oh, sorry. So you guys just saw this is a little test for Quadrigo right here that shows your take profits and your stop loss automatically. The nice thing that I like about Quadrigo, though, and this is something that I haven't, that I don't think I'm going to be able to do, is Quadrigo actually changes based upon the candle that you hover over. So if you missed a signal and then you get a re-entry, you can go back and look at the actual values, and it's also easy to verify. With this, this is very helpful, though, for doing your daily scan. So all you have to do, the way that we teach, is all you have to do is do your daily scan, go through the coins that you're interested in trading, and if the qualifications for a trade are correct, boom, you've got all your data right there. So anyways, Poe BTC, looking at today, things are looking good. We have 2 of 3. We have 3 of 3. So actually, this looks quite good. So we can go down to intraday timeframes and look for trades. 12-hour is reaching the overbought zone. Doesn't really mean anything. 8-hour is pulling back a little bit. 6-hour is giving you a continuation trade. 8-hour is giving you a continuation. 4-hour is nothing. 3-hour is nothing. Wait, let me double check. 3-hour gave you an entry right here. Excuse me. And that's it. I think the only thing that I saw, there's no position to be taken right now. But the 3-hour gave you a good entry right here. 3-hour gave you a very good entry right here. Yeah, and I'd say this looks really good, man. Let's go look at what's 82. So we haven't quite gotten there quite yet. But about 8% profit potential on this so far. This looks good, man. This looks really good. Richard, I did just answer you extensively. ByBit. Links in the description, brother. TNT was pumping like 200% yesterday. Funny enough, TNT was one we called as well. Is this still a buy after the major pullback? No. When Harish. Sorry I'm late, sir, but again, please keep going. I'm just resting my eyes, not sleeping. Hey, DIY guy. Good to see you, brother. ADD1CT. Thanks for the follow on DLive, good friend. Okay. Poe. Looks good, brother. And LRC, BTC. Look at that loop ring action. Let's see here. No, we are not allowed to do anything with LRC. It looks good. We are closing above the baseline. Let's get rid of our drawing tools. We are closing above the baseline. Time transformation is above the, we do have time transformation above our signal line, but we do have to have a genuine initial signal generated, which we're not getting right now. In fact, I want to do something here for you guys and switch this up just a little bit. So yeah, actually invalid. And we only have, so let's actually talk about this a little bit. Here's the thing. You can take this. This is tertiary now. This is tertiary PTP, not primary, not even secondary. This is discretionary rules-based PTP. PTP is mechanical. So there are discretionary rules-based qualifiers that you can utilize to take a PTP trade in a condition such as this. And those mostly revolve around discretionary position sizing. So this would be comporting to the 1 to 3 candle rule. So you can see that we do get a primary signal to enter right here, but unfortunately one condition is not met, so we're not allowed to take that trade. It's not true on the first candle. It is true on the second candle. So you could discretionarily take this trade with 2/3 of your position size. So you would use, sorry, hold on. Let me make sure I repeat that right. Yes. You could take this trade with 2/3 of your position size on the close of this daily candle. So you would hedge against this. You would do your discretionary rules based by reducing your risk. Does WADA explosion indicator show volume? So I can remove my built-in volume indicator. It doesn't show volume identical to your regular volume indicator, but it does calculate volume, yes. So as you can see, I don't have volume on my chart. I just use WADA. Because I don't really care what the volume looks like because I don't do wishes and fishes chart patterns. All I care about is volume. The only thing I care about is signals. That's why I've designed PTP. It tells me exactly what to do when, and I cannot, and there's no arguing with it. I don't have to stare at the chart for longer than a second. It's either true or it's not, period. And then I just look at the chart at the same time every day and wait for the signal to generate. And this is how, at least the professional traders that I learned from, this is how they trade professionally. And this is how I now trade professionally. No wishing and fishing, no speculation, no price might go up, price might go down. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Support and resistance doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Doesn't matter. You don't need to know any of that stuff. Doesn't matter. The only thing you need is a signal from a system that you've designed to be profitable. And you don't argue with it. All right, so let's get back into the requests. BTC, my good friend. BitTorrent token. Let's see here. BitTorrent token got really good on this candle right here, which is actually when we got the primary signal to enter. You can see that we did not close below the baseline, so at no point in time would we have exited. And yes, coming quite nicely up into little bit of a wishes and fishes zone right here, but the breakdown zone right here, previous block right here, broke down below here, did turn into resistance here. Again, none of that stuff matters per PTP, but nice bullish trend that we have going on with BTT. Can we re-enter the trade? Actually, we can on the close of this daily candle. We can re-enter BTT. So we'll wait for the daily candle to close and see if all conditions are still true, and we can go forward and conquer. Looks good. Arturo G, yes. Yes, that's all in the Premium Plus, Premium Pro, and Premium Elite Premium Content Drive that we share access to. So yes, you would get access to all of that, as well as PTP. Expose.org says, wake up. So yeah, not on the pullback, brother. Again, secondary strategy, having a buy at the daily baseline. You could have taken that. Again, as we talk about, the only way that we will be able to trade reversals, except for the other rare condition. Because we do have 2 of 3, we can go down to lower time frames and look for entries. 4 hour, nope. 3 hour, no. Almost, but no cigar. The hourly would have given you a signal to go long right here at 15 sats, and you could have made the sell at 16 sats, which is, again, 6.78%, which when you're trading something like this, intraday trade is really all you're looking for. You could have gone long on the daily at 15 sats as well. Yeah, so there was a 1 sat profit potential there. Slava Yarmakovich, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. Welcome to the show. If I used Quadriga for entry and exit and price action does not hit any of those within the 4x time frame, would I adjust my take profit and stop loss to the latest candle? So that's getting into something that we haven't covered yet with PTP. That actually is an option, so that's very succinct and intelligent of you to actually kind of noodle that out. The other thing that you can do is revert to base PTP, because what you're talking about is secondary PTP or advanced PTP. So base PTP would say you're in a trade until you get an exit signal or until you hit your take profits. So that's why we have multiple systems designed in PTP to get us out of a losing trade at a break even or a small loss, and get us out of and keep us in a winning trade and keep us patient until our take profit gets hit. So primary PTP, no, you would not update. So the 4x rule is secondary, right? So the reason I say that quite frequently, because that's kind of natural and congruent with how I trade and how I do things. But for base strategy, no, you wouldn't do that. Pathways to profit, my good friend. So that's our entire algorithmic trading structure. Thank you, Bob the Builder. Thank you, Paul. Good to see you, brother. Light Rainy says, will I get around to making an advanced TD sequential video? I will, but it's probably not going to be soon. I'm going to be honest. I had really intended to make that earlier, but then I got so busy. You know, we had so many people that wanted mentoring. So many people joined our group. And now I'm so busy with creating educational content for them, finishing all the Pathways to Profits modules and getting everybody onboarded and learning exactly how I trade, finishing all the custom indicators, you know, just working with everybody and spending so much time in there that it takes most of my time. Is BitBay open for US residents, or would you need to use a VPN? I've never used BitBay, so I can't, I could not give you any knowledge. Is it any cost just to hold a position on BitMEX and how it relates with leverage? Vitaly Pavlovov, good to see you. So it depends. If you're trading a perpetual swap trade, then yes, you're going to pay funding. Now you're either going to pay funding or you're going to receive funding. It depends on what side of the trade you're on. So that changes every 8 hours. Same with ByBit, same with Deribit, because those are all perpetual contracts. If you're trading a non-perpetual contract like XBT M19 or ETH M19 or Ripple or any of the altcoin contracts, those are just regular futures that have expiry. So no, you're not going to pay any funding on those. on WADA, what minimum time frame that I recommend to trade? So I recommend that everybody starts, again, if you're not a profitable trader already, I recommend that you start trading on the daily and only trade on the daily. And then once you are profitable and make more money than you lose, then you can start going down to lower time frames with less capital. But the WADA ATAR does work really, really good. Again, as long as you take PTP with you wherever you go, it is a strategy that works on all time frames, but there's lots of benefits to trading on the daily time frame that we go over. The main benefit is that you have time to live. And Slava, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. I think I already said that, but I didn't click it over here to notify that I'd already said it. So if I said it twice, awesome, double dipping. So there's lots of benefits to trading on the daily time frame. And thanks, Light. I appreciate that. Great, Arturo. Looking forward to seeing you in there, brother. Okay, so MATIC BTC. MATIC BTC, what's going on? Dun, dun, dun. We're not allowed to do anything with MATIC, guys. No, sir. We are above the daily baseline. We've gotten our exit signal. This has told us that where did we get told to buy MATIC? We got told to buy MATIC right here on this candle. And we got told to sell it here. So that is a 161% trade, assuming that we did not take any profit along the way, which I'm sure we did. Like, for example, right here, we would have had to take profit and then re-enter here. Another 128% profit potential. So moving on. So there is that. I'm going to have to color these bars for some reason. Oh, I guess they're probably not coloring because of WADA ATAR explosion. That's the only thing that I don't like is how can I dominate? Close. Anyways, bar coloring dominance is something that we have to figure out a little bit in the code. But anyways, not in each individual indicator, but insofar as having multiple ones on the screen. I'm sure those of you who use time transformation and WADA ATAR have noticed this slight pain in the touche, but that's why we have the signals indicated up here. So the bar coloring is just, honestly, that's kind of for people who are hard of vision or have vision difficulties. That's really the only reason I put it in there. You should be looking at your indicator pane to determine your signal. I mean, often when I go through the daily, when I do my daily scan, I often won't even have price up. I just have this. This is just what I look at. And I just go through and look what time transformation is doing on every single pair that I want to trade. Because time transformation tells you is your primary signal. That tells you what to do. And if it's not true, then there's no point looking at anything else. Now, here's what I will say. MATIC, you have one of three. So you're not allowed to go to lower time frames and look for a trade. If you do, which you're not supposed to, if you do, very small position size. Let's just look here and see if PTP would have given you a trade. No. 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 Nothing to do on MATIC, brother. Let's see if it would have gotten you in. No. Would have got you in the trade here. Could have gotten into the trade on the 15-minute chart. And you would have had a 6.6, about 6 to 7% profit potential there. 30-minute charts. Could have gotten into this. Nope. Sorry, nope. You could not have. Nope, nothing. Nothing. Steve C. Racist chart. Steve C. So, again, your daily baseline can be whatever you like to use that works well in your backtesting. I use the exponential moving average 13. So, yes, you want to use CC EMA, CC exponential moving averages, and then just utilize the 13-period moving average. But again, I kind of challenge all of you guys to get out there and experiment with baselines and find the one that works really well for you. ASDA, time transformation was inspired by Fisher Transform. I rewrote all the mathematical code myself. So it's different. Marlon. See, I'm learning something. Of course you are, man. Is it a racist chart? That doesn't even... Okay, moving on. DENT, BTC. This was another one that came up on the scan a couple days ago. Yep. Let's see here. Came up on the scan on the 7. Yep, came up on the scan on the 7. Sorry, that was the 7. Pull up the 10. All right, so sorry, let's see here. Nope. Yeah, I guess we can't do anything with this on the 10. Yeah, this was the 7 that I was seeing it. Here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we did get a long signal right here. My bad. On the 20th, yeah. So on the 20th, we did get a long signal. Dent came up on the daily scan. And you would have had about a 13% profit potential so far. Let's actually get rid of these lines. So things are looking pretty good. Dent looks good. You have 3 of 3, actually. 3 of 3, so you definitely can actually go down to lower time frames and look for a trade. Nothing on the 12, nothing on the 8. The 8 is going to... Nope. Can't do anything on the 8. Nor the 6. Nor the 4. 4 hours giving you a trade right now, actually. Yep, 4 hours giving you a setup right now. And as is the 3. 3 hours giving you a trade right now. Time transformation does not like Dent. You're breaking it. That looks pretty neat. I've never seen it do that. Huh. My baby's sensitive. And the daily will be giving you a signal as well on the daily candle close. So let's see if Dent can make its way up to 19 sats, baby. Steve C, the daily. I recommend you trade the daily. Wall2D2 says, besides being a trader, are you a programmer, mathematician, engineer? I am a butcher, a baker, and a candlestick maker. I have been professionally trading for quite a long time. And no, I am not actually, I am actually not naturally good at mathematics. Math is a subject that I struggled with a lot in school. I've always been really good at English. I am a writer. I am creative. I make content. I write stories. I do a lot of writing. And I think that's why teaching and educating has always been easy for me, because learning a lot of stuff, learning how to trade was very hard for me. Learning how to do mathematics and actually write these indicators and learn the code that I have now learned to do programming for Pine was very difficult for me. So I think that's probably why it's easy, or why it's maybe easy to learn from me, because I understand what it's like to struggle with the concept. So that's how I teach, because I teach you like I wasn't naturally good at any of this stuff. And that's why I'm so confident in PTP and why I know it works. And that's why I teach other people to use it. Because if it works for me, but no, I am not a programmer. The only language that I know is, I know HTML and some CSS because I do some website stuff, but is Pine. I taught myself Pine arduously and painstakingly. I don't know any Python. I don't know any C++ or C# or any stuff like that. I've got a guy for that. I'm not naturally good at mathematics. There's lots of stuff that I struggle with. Don't know anything about cosines. But I've learned what I need to learn to make things work that make money. And that's been pretty neat. And I'm not an engineer, but I've always been a problem solver. So my father was. And so ever since from a very young age, that's the lesson that he distilled in me, is solve problems, fix things, discover how things work. And for the longest time, I was focused on that in other aspects of my life. But again, trading helped me with a lot of things. Trading helped me find direction, helped me find purpose, helped me be disciplined. And through that, I've made my personal life better. I've made my relationships with my family better. And I've made, hopefully, the community better, which is now what I'm working on right now. yourself, family, community. Your personal progression has to go in that direction, or in that order. If you try, this is why I really don't have a lot of patience for conspiracy theories and Starbucks revolutionaries, because they want to sit around talking about the evil Illuminati lizard conspiracy, which may or may not be true, but they have shitty relationship with their parents or with their girlfriend or boyfriend, and their personal life is in disarray. Okay, dude, like, I'm just not going to listen to you. I'm not going to listen to anything that's going to come out of your mouth hole if you don't have your personal affairs in order. But if you have yourself on lock and your family, and you've mended with your family to the best of your ability, and you're trying to be a good person, now we can sit down and talk about lizard lords all night long. EVX BTC. Thank you, Esmalal. You like my new color profile? I like everything you do on TradingView. Yes, you guys are welcome. Okay. Let's see her. DENT. Let's look at CBD oil. CDT. Cornish Trader UK. Yes, all premium subscribers get access to the indicators. Premium Plus, Pro, and Elite get access to the database, our webinars, and PTP. Everyone gets access to the indicators, all our private Discord community, our mentoring, all our signals, access to all our analysts and traders, access to the community, the private live chats, all of that stuff. Everybody gets that. CDT BTC on the daily gave the signal right here. This is a discretionary rules-based trade because we do get the primary signal on the 17th. Of course, we can't take that trade. 1, 2, 3. All right. This is a discretionary rules-based trade. This is actually one that I also said in the premium signals channel for our private Discord, and we had a nice 67% movement on here. Are we allowed to take this trade now? Actually, no, we're not. But we do have 3 of 3, so we can go down to lower time frames and look for a setup. 8-hour and 12-hour are turning down, as is the 4-hour, as is the 6-hour, as is the 3-hour, the 3-hour as well, as is the hourly, as is the 30-minute. Nothing to do here. Nothing to do here. We'll have to check back on a different time frame for blocks. Link, BTC. Good stuff, Wall2D2. Thank you for asking, man. Yes, you want to plug away, but you also want to make sure you're not hitting your head against a brick wall at the same time. So above all, what you need is structure. You need a specific rules-based system for entering and exiting positions. So you need to have clearly defined entry rules, clearly defined exit rules, and you only take trades based upon that structure, period. And now once you have that system, you go back and back test it, which is fairly easy to do, and you determine, is this a profitable strategy? And then you actually go back and back test again with your risk management structure. So how much money are you actually going to invest in a system? Then if it's profitable again, then move that forward into the future. It's Hard says, I'm a programmer, mathematician. I love math, codes, charts, patterns, though I love manual trading over algo trading. Well, of course, yeah, I love manual trading. That is, I do not do any algorithmic trading. Or let me rephrase that. I do algorithmic trading, but I don't do bot trading. Nothing is automated. Vitam Impendero Vero says, being a successful man, trader, and teacher is righteous, man. Thank you, man. Highly appreciated. It's been a long journey. Do I think the future of trading will eventually be automated and managed by just a few people who create good algos? Maybe. I mean, yeah, probably eventually. I would not FOMO into MATIC Bitcoin. Which Mervyn Skidmore. Well, can't I just pick him? No, it's as nuts. See, that's what it is, man. I'm not a picker, dude. I'm not a picker. There are discretionary rules-based trades that we can take, but again, those are all rules-based discretionary, right? So it's not that I'm just magical. It's that I've designed through back testing and testing and strategy and patience and discipline and math a system that generates profits over time. And it's not like I have an Oracle bowl and I was like, oh, I predict on this date CDT will pop off. No, it's just what comes up in the algorithm, man. But yeah, nothing to do right now, brother. Which indicators should people stay away from? Personal opinion, RSI, stochastic, Bollinger Bands, Fibonacci, trend lines, pivot points. How much time do you think we must have available to become a premium member? I mean, it depends. We have, so the majority of the trades that I post are predicated off the daily time frame. So I generate signals and do my trades in the evening in a 2-hour window. So that's pretty easy for most people. Trading PTP only requires an hour a day or less if you want to trade less currency pairs. But we also have other analysts and traders in the group who are pretty frequent day traders as well, and they kind of keep it going all day long. So it just depends on what you want available. I would say, to really dive into the material and at least develop your system for becoming a professional trader or trading on a professional level. I mean, you at least need an hour a day. Thoughts on RSR USDT? I don't see RSR USDT. So I don't know if that's I don't know if I'm getting punked. Oh, there it came up. That was on Wabi. Nothing to do here on the daily. There's not enough data. So let's go down to the first time frame that we can trade. I need something. All right, hourly chart. Since we only have two pieces of the structure here, this doesn't look good right now. Could be. You could be getting a continuation cross here sometime. But not yet. This would have got you in here. And you would have been able to make about 40%. And then you would have been able to, so if you were using the full algorithmic structure, you would have been able to get in right here. And you would have been able to make about 32%. Nothing to do right now. Sean Pond, yes, I have, and I have no interest in doing that really. Because what we do at Kraken Cryptocurrency is job training. I teach you how to trade the way that I teach so that you then have a skill that you will have for the rest of your life. Okay? If I just hand you something, which again, I mean, this argument could be made. We hand you time transformation. We hand you Minx. We hand you Quadrigo. We hand you the tools, the rules. We hand you everything that you need. But if you're not going to take the time to learn, then you have a high probability of doing things wrong in the first place, and then you're going to blame me. So setting up a system where it's easier for you to do that, for you to be mad at me because you didn't follow the rules or use the tools properly, not really interested in that. But for those of you who are interested in becoming a professional trader and doing things correctly, and then I think what we offer is probably for you. Sir Newton, thank you so much for the Canadian 13, my good friend. I'm going to use that to go to Tim Hortons and buy me a donut, man, if I ate carbohydrates. Thank you, brother. He says, let me buy you a beer. Really enjoy your show. This cryptocurrency is crazy fun. Eh? This cryptocurrency is crazy fun, eh? Cheers. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much, brother. Always appreciate it, guys. think I'm going to have to go find a nice Canadian lager, man. Exposed. I don't know why these like I just get a lot of icons sometimes. The gecko people are real, man. How do you explain the maybe you're like maybe it's doing cuss words. Is there a setting where I can actually see cuss words? Is that what's up? Is Restream like child proofing my chat stream here? Mouth breathing and blueberry mac and cheese. Yeah, AJ, you can't use Wadatar. There's not enough data. Tom S says those are all the best indicators. No, those are all the worst indicators, brother. Cornish Trader UK, yes, I do. Bitcoin. If you look at the very top up there, there is a big link. Sorry, I'm not trying to be sarcastic. Yeah, if you check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com or our website at krakencryptocurrency.com, all the information is listed there. We do accept Bitcoin and major cryptocurrencies as a payment option. Yes, sir. Saying trend lines are no good is like saying support and resistance lines are no good. They're really not that great. No. Support and resistance lines only factor into PTP in a tertiary structure. If you trade generally, listen, although we do utilize price action sometimes around here for the purposes of wishes and fishes, honestly, for creating our PTP algorithmic structure for support and resistance is not a way to trade. Right now, we have a certain way that we do trade support and resistance at Kraken Cryptocurrency, and that fits in the blocks, order blocks, range, EQ. But I don't think the majority of traders are going to find success in trading that way because, again, the failure rate for most traders is 90 to 99%, and most traders use RSI, Fibonacci, stochastic, support and resistance, trend lines, all the stuff that doesn't actually work and is subjective. It makes you wonder, did I draw this line right? Did I draw this line wrong? Is this line supposed to go here? Is this support? Is this resistance? Blah, 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 blah. Now, again, I go over all this in the premium webinars, objective methods to identify support and resistance. And when we're done with our PTP module, we will have an advanced price action module that'll go over breaks, blocks, breaks, breakers, order blocks, range, EQ, low, liquidity grabs, liquidity voids, all that stuff, all the traditional stuff that you're going to get that most people trade on. But the reality of the situation is most people who trade that stuff lose money, right? And that's what most people are taught. Like, you have to trade this way. You have to understand the markets this way. You have to look at the charts this way. You have to put a bunch of drawings on your chart. No, you don't. You don't. I don't. And I trade professionally and outperform almost everybody that has ever tried to play big bank, little bank with me, period. And it's an algorithmic structure, man. It's an algorithmic, if this, then that, rules-based, discretionary, at times, system that focuses on risk management, psychology, and position sizing. It's that simple, man. You take all the what I think up here in this head out of the equation. I do have a stochastic tutorial. It's not that I don't advise you not to use stochastic. It's that it's not a great indicator because it's designed to trade reversals. I will probably make an RSI and Fibonacci tutorial at some point in time. So I'm saying 16 hours a day is too much? No. I'm not saying that at all. Smoke break, bro. Thank you, guys. All right. I will. Good point, Wendy Brown. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to take a quick break, guys. I'll be back in just a few minutes. I'll finish going through the chat, and I will also answer your questions, and we're going to look at some news. It's just the chat is pretty interesting today, so I like answering you guys' questions. I'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Sorry. I got to do the plug. If this is your first time to the channel, and you're just coming across us, and you like what you see, guys, there is a subscribe button down there. Don't make it feel lonely. Go ahead and hit it. Subscribe to the channel, dude. We're here every single day from noon to 2 CDT, 5 to 7 on the weekends. You can come follow us on Twitch, DLive, wherever you guys are at. Hit the button that shows us some love. We highly appreciate that, guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back live in the saddle. We didn't skip Chainlink, man. I was just getting right to it, dude. Let's blast through these requests and let's catch up with the chat and let's talk about the news, right? Let's get into Link BTC. All right, thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Thanks for everybody who hit the subscription button. Mervin Skidmore and Ron Bo 7110, 710, 710, however you like to pronounce it. Thank you so much for the subscriptions on YouTube. That's good coffee. Okay. All right, here on Link, man. First, let's look at where we would have gotten in. Primary entry right here. So this would have been our first entry. See, on that, we would have had about a 15% profit opportunity. So I'm sure that is a winner in some capacity utilizing Quadrigo. Out of the trade on this candle. And you are allowed to enter again on this candle right here. On this candle right here. And you would be... Take a look. Nope. You would actually still be in this trade, sir. Entry on Link right here. And you'd be pretty happy with yourself. Anything to do right now? Hell no. Absolutely not. No entry for long. In fact, this is generally a time where I'm looking to definitely take some profits and wait for another signal. 2 of 3. We're so far away from the daily baseline. Tertiary strategy, discretionary. I wouldn't be looking for any entry on Link at this point in time, my good sir. It's had a very nice run. As coins do, when you just follow the system, you get on the right side of the trade and good things happen. Nothing to do right now, man. Sorry. I will go down and look at the lower time frames for you. 12 hours already turned, giving you the exit signal on this candle right here. 8 hour is consolidating, but crossed below, nothing to do. 6 hour is about to turn bearish. 4 hour is about to turn bearish. 3 hour is about to turn bearish. Actually, a 3 hour might. Nope, is not going to give you a signal on the 3 hour to go long. Hourly has not turned bearish yet. 30-minute gave you... That 30-minute ain't doing anything. Let's just put it that way. Neither on the 15. Here was a trade on the 15-minute time frame. This is a great trade right here. That was a great trade. About a 10%, 12% trade on the 15-minute. Could have taken yesterday. And on the 30 minutes. Could have got in on this candle. Didn't catch all of it. That's all right. Got a lot of it. Boop this back up. Shah Khan, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube, my good friend. All right. And let's go through these real quick. Siacoin BTC. Siacoin BTC. Let's see. Actually, so nope. So for this, we're gonna have to boot down. So this was good on the daily scan last night, but closing below, as you can see, we're about to close below the baseline right here, and we're about to cross down below the 0. So this is going to be if you entered. This is going to be an exit on the daily candle close when we manage trades. NPXS ETH. NPXS ETH actually looks good here. Yep, we're going to get a primary entry on NPXS ETH on this candle right here. On this candle close right here, we're going to get the daily signal. XRP USDT. Not signaling a short yet. This would have been your primary short signal, but WADA did not confirm, so you're not allowed to do anything. And if you're using discretion, you have 1 to 3 candles for your indicators to catch up. Nothing to do on ZERP. EVX BTC. The EVX will be giving a daily signal on the close of this candle right here. Daily chart looks good. All right. Get back over to Bitcoin. Down, trading at about 77.5, 77.75 on BitMEX, 77.77 on Coinbase. A little bit of a pullback. Tom S says, "What indicators do I use then?" I'm new, so not familiar with the channel. That's cool, man. Thanks for joining. I use a lot of proprietary indicators that I've coded myself. Water explosion is one we use a lot. Time transformation, obviously, is the one that we use heavily. The new one is Minx that we'll be utilizing a lot. Quadrigo ATR. Those are the indicators that I use in my structure. However, it's not that those indicators are magical, although they are very good. They are very good. They're the ones, again, that I use personally to professionally trade. However, it's the structure that's more important, not necessarily the individual indicators. Robert Jones says, "Do I keep a record of trading and do I lose trades? And what is a good percentage of win and loss?" Yeah, of course. I keep a record of all my trading. In fact, my record of trading is live at currentresults.krakencryptocurrency.com. I log every single trade I make. Currentresults.krakencryptocurrency.com, results.krakencryptocurrency.com. You can actually see all the results of the past. I think we keep the last 3 to 4 months up there, and then we begin filtering them off. So you guys can go see all the results of every trade that we've put on personally and as a trading group, because I recommend every single trade that I take to the members. What is a good percentage of win to loss? Ideally, you want an indicator that gives you a hit rate of 60%. Now, your win-loss ratio can be 30%, it can be 40%, it can be 50%, it can be 90%, it doesn't matter. Your win-loss ratio is kind of deceptive because what matters at the end of the day is your equity curve. So, for example, when I traded E-mini futures, I had a 35% hit rate, so I was right 35% of the time, and I made money hand over fist. Why? Reduce losses, right? Lots of small losses, that's totally fine. Big winners. XX Zombie Killers X says, "Hey man, what would be the best site for Bitcoin trading in the UK? I see Binance doesn't have British or GBP to BTC. Let's see here. Well, if you want to trade GBP BTC, I know Bitfinex offers that, I do believe, but I don't recommend trading on Bitfinex. Off the top of my head, does Coinbase have GBP to BTC? BTC. Yeah, Coinbase. You could trade BTC GBP. Otherwise, yeah, Bitfinex, CoinFloor, Sex. I don't recommend trading on any of these. You can actually trade it on forex.com. That's not the broker that I use. Yeah, if you want to specifically trade BTC GBP, that's where I'd trade. Coinbase. But again, you can trade your BTC anywhere you want. So you can trade your BTC against anything. Just because you utilize GBP, I recommend trading against the dollar because it's more liquidity. Ed McCracken, good to see you, brother. What settings am I using on the EMA? It's a daily 13. GBU Professor Wally coming through with the $14.26 says, "Looks like level 2 is unlocked. A bot-related keyword has been triggered. Learn, earn, and don't get burned because a bot is right 60% all the time." Hell yeah, man. Good to hear from you, man. Thank you so much for the donation, my good friend. Shout out to Gunbot University and yourself, Wally, holding it down over there for the algo traders. Thank you, man. Seems like level 2 was less than level 1, I guess, as we progress. Bullish Bear says, "If you think Fibonacci tools don't work, you're either lying or you're full of it." No, that's fine, man. I get that a lot. Fibonacci is not my favorite indicator. Most people who use it lose money. It's not that it doesn't work. It's the ultimate hindsight indicator. And again, I don't mean Well, I guess sometimes I do, but I do absolutely feel passionate. I'm not lying. I think that Fibonacci is useless because it trains people to trade reversals, which is an unprofitable method of trading. Again, the failure rate is 90 to 99% of traders lose money. Why? Because most of them are told that Fibonacci works great, in addition to other indicators that are terrible. So yeah, Fibonacci works really, really good in hindsight. And that's cool, man. You know, something that my haters are really good at is being wrong about a lot of things. And that's probably why most of them are bad traders in the first place, man. Doesn't bother me one bit. Edgeless Bear, thanks so much for the follow on DLive. Calisthenics and knee bends. Rub on that button. Thanks, guys. Fibonacci can be useful for setting take profit levels. I find that it's not as useful as using the average true range, which is what we do, but that's the only aspect that I find it useful. Not fact, dude. In fact, categorically wrong. But that's cool. Any news about Ethereum 2.0? That's going to be up Scott's alley. Not to the best of my knowledge, no. What's happening with the Craig Wright thing, guys? Yep, we're going to get into that in just a second. Does the green H on TT mean hold? No, it means hidden divergence. Thanks, Batam, man. Appreciate that. What does Quadrigo have for exits on the NPXS to buy? Let's go check it out, man. Uh, 35, 38, and 41. With an initial stop, with a hard stop at 275. Of course, PTP, nice thing about PTP is that 9 out of 10 times our stop loss never gets hit, even if the trade is a loser, because there are count them, three stop losses in every PTP trade. If price closes underneath the baseline, or if your exit indicator fires, or if your entry indicator turns against you, in addition to your hard stop loss. Robert Carr, is XRP a good investment long term? Thank you so much for the 5, man. I highly appreciate that, brother. So I don't do long-term investments. That is not my bag. That's not what I do. I'm a trader. I move in and out of currencies. The only thing that I'm a maximalist on is Bitcoin. The only thing that I'm willing to invest in is Bitcoin. So actually, my honest answer is no. I don't think Ripple is a good long-term investment. Lucas, are there any plans for a Binance or ByBit tutorial for premiums? Only BitMEX there from what I can see. Yeah, I definitely need to incorporate that into the premium webinar series. I want to finish with PTP first, though. Nigao, good to see you, bro. Jonathan Falcher, good to see you, bro. Thanks for hopping on. No problem, Captain Crypto. You're welcome, my good friend. Had to get the total to 420 as a shout out to those people. Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you, Derek's Light Friends. Thank you so much, my good friend. Nuka Brosity, BTT time. I did look at BTT. Which indicators would I recommend? So again, I think Fisher Transform works really good. That was the inspiration for time transformation. I did rewrite the mathematics on that. I find time transformation just gives better signals that way. Using my code, using the math that I came up with. Wadatar Explosion is really good as well. I have Ichimoku, CC-EMA, and Wadatar Explosion, all public indicators you can check on my TradingView. You can go to indicators.crackencryptocurrency.com. But there's lots of fantastic indicators out there that most people will never use because they get sucked up by the price action, subjectivity. Let's try and determine and predict what the market's going to do. Bros, who generally lose money, or they get sucked up by the indicators that don't work really well over here section. Bros, like RSI stochastic, Bollinger Bands, things of that nature. Again, MFI is a terrible indicator the way that 99% of people use it, but I showed MFI how it can be used as a good trending confirmation indicator yesterday. It actually works really, really well if you use MFI as a zero crossline indicator and not as a oversold overbought indicator, which doesn't mean anything. Oversold and overbought has no bearing on cryptocurrency. Just as there's no bearing on Forex markets. So would I recommend, definitely start, again, the algorithmic structure of PTP is what's so important, but what I do recommend is that you go out there and you test for indicators that are going to give you good signals. It's all about testing. It's all about back testing. It's all about forming your structure that is rules-based and not subjective. When do I take positions? At the close of the daily candle? Not at the close. There is a 2-hour window. What's the average true range? Average true range is a measure of the distance between the high and the low over a period of time. Well, that's the true range. And then average true range is that period, is that range between the high and the low averaged over a period of look-back bars. So it's an actual measure of average volatility, of the actual average distance that a candle travels over time. Let the haters do their job and hate. I'm trying to get 20 more before the summer is over. Thank you, Kevin Stewart. How to use ATR for profit levels. Whatever the close of the candle is at which you take a trade, add 1 ATR. Robert Jones, I answered that question, brother. Hodl BTC. Tom S says, do you trade certain coins or do you just follow the volume in the market? Also, some coins are on different exchanges, so not all coins can be traded if the number of coins are numerous and obscure. Defunct, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. So I trade on Binance. If it's not on Binance, I don't trade it. I trade on ByBit and Deribit and BitMEX. So if it's not on one of those exchanges, I don't trade it. I don't trade anything on any other exchange that is not one of those 4 exchanges, period. There are, so literally one time in the past 2 years of doing this show, I have, one time, I think, actually, yes, one time. And that was just recently. I went on another exchange and grabbed a bag of a coin. One time. Do I follow the volume in the market? No. I look at my indicators and they tell me when to enter and exit a position. That's it. So I do a scan every single day. I teach the members how to do the daily scan. It's probably one of the most important things as far as structure goes. Every single day, I look at every single coin on all 4 of my exchanges. And if I get a signal, I take it. And if I don't, I don't. Quote of the day, I don't do long-term investments. That's not my bag. Well played, Justin. Well played. Thanks, Wally, brother. How do I get Quadrigo? So that's not Quadrigo. That's not Quadrigo. That is that's a test indicator. So that's gonna it's a feature I'm probably gonna add to Quadrigo. Yes. I'll actually show you guys that here if I can find it. There we go. So you'll be able to click it just in Quadrigo and plot for longs, plot for shorts, depending on whether you want to trade long or short. So that's something I need to add to Quadrigo. Mervin says, been working on my TA for just over 2 years. All the hard work is finally paid off, and my TA accuracy is now around 50%. You know, that's actually not a bad hit rate, to be quite honest with you. Peanut Buddha, thanks so much for the subscription on YouTube. What matters is your profitability over time. So again, as I said, when I traded E-mini futures, my hit rate was around 35%, and I made money. Kanos86, thanks for the follow on Twitch as well, my good friend. Thank you so much. Asda, that's absolutely fine, man. Again, I will be here for a very long time, my good friend. I will be here day after day. And you don't need to. Nobody watching do I pressure to get into the course or join the group. That's something that will naturally happen if you so desire that the information is required or desired. You make the best decisions for yourself. Justin hates me now. I don't hate you, Andrew. A lot of people use fib. That's all right. I mean, I honestly, truly believe at the bottom of my heart that there is a better way. I really don't think Fibonacci is a good. It's not that it can't work. When it works well. It's that it's its hit rate. It's its reliability. It's its ability to devise a structure and system around. I don't hate you, brother. Mike is not on fire yet. Yeah, you actually are right. Sorry, man. So you can turn the opacity up on the lines itself. But I'm going to make it a lot easier. As you can see with this, it's just as simple as clicking them on and clicking them off. All right? So it's actually a pretty simple line of code that I just never thought to add to it. And because I've been doing all the work in the code cave with because I've been doing all the work in the code cave with Minx and actually a full rewrite of time transformation. Again, like I said, I improved its hit rate about 13%. Just little things that I haven't added came apparent to me. Thank you so much, Asda. Eric Dobkin says, Justin, you were right about trend trading being better than harmonics, better to catch the wave you're in rather than trying to predict prices. You're absolutely right, brother. Defunk, thanks for tuning in. What do I think Bitcoin is looking like over this weekend? We don't do any price predictions around here, man. We just trade what the current price is telling us to do. So right now, the current price, as we went over with the BTC and Ethereum analysis at the very beginning of the show, not telling us to do anything, man. No positions to take. Coro Eos. That's a really cool name, man. Says, first time here. I'm really impressed. This is what I've been looking for all of my life. Well, glad, man. Glad you found what you're looking for. How to subscribe and join the community. You can join our Discord, discord.crackencryptocurrency.com. Link is in the description down below. And if you'd like to join our group and trade with us and get mentoring, have access to all our tools and our rules, the link is at the top of the screen, premium.crackencryptocurrency.com, my good friend. Considering you are most likely in the Midwest of the U.S., what are those hours you are looking to take positions? 6 to 8 p.m., my good friend. Just finished sowing 60,000 seeds. Farming is tough. Awesome, Michael Weston. Andrew Munns, there's a big sale on pressure washers. Woo, baby. No problem, Thomas. Peanut Buddha stealing my hand. Justin, boom, Shanka. If you use Fibonacci and you're not Italian, it won't work for you. Can I check out TNT? Yeah, sure. One other thing, just it's like little things, man. Like just the people that come on here. Again, you're going to get a lot of haters when you basically come on the air and say, hey guys, listen, I've been trading for a long time. This is what I do professionally. Most of you guys are losing money and it's because you're doing everything wrong. And then you tell them what tools they're using that are probably making them lose money. And they react not with, oh, that's awesome. Maybe if I actually try to trade the way that you're talking about, maybe I would learn something. Maybe I would at least see the value in what you offer. And I could say, hey, man, I respect that. I respect your opinion. But no, touch the sacred cow. And they're like, oh, fuck you. You're dumb. Some people are, again, this is why most people who are really bad at what they think anyways are probably bad traders to begin with. So somebody, I don't know, he said, why do you always look at trades in hindsight? Because I'm pointing out, hopefully people see over time exactly what the market conditions are, where I say a trade is good. And then I proceed to break down the current price and what to do now every single chart I look at. Again, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So close this, open these up. Not most of you guys watching. Most of you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. But for the people where only dumb stuff comes out of the mouth hole, it's funny, man. Anyway, so and that's a valuable lesson to carry in your life in general. Listen, when you do things right, you get a lot of hate, right? And that's because most people are so selfish and bitter and contemptuous and beaten down and resentful and sullen that they just don't know how to be grateful and honest and caring and compassionate and strive to be a better person, right? And that's, again, what trading helped me do for my life. So they're pretty easy to spot when you come across them, guys. So many people, just know this in the bottom of your heart. You deserve better than what you have right now. You do. You deserve to be treated with respect, integrity, decency, honesty, and you deserve to be that way yourself. Because if you are that way, again, the universe returns to you what you put out. A little philosophical for you guys. So, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the law of equivalent exchange, the secret, any of that stuff, positive mentality returns positive results. So when you come across those people who have nothing better to do with their time than talk about how, oh, woe is me, everything is my fault, everybody sucks. And if you're one of those people, run away. Stop. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve to even engage 1 iota, 1 ounce, 1 second of your time with those fucking losers. None. They're not worth your time. Okay, let's see here. So, got a continuation trade on TNT right here. This was actually, again, one of the charts that I posted. Not one of the charts. I didn't post the chart, but I posted the ticker symbol and said this was a good trade on the 20th, on the close of this daily candle. We're not getting a good signal right now. So again, nice pump up. It's crazy, man, but this honestly isn't different from a lot of the other coins that pumped as well. Like Doc did really well. Yo-Yo did really well. A lot of low sat coins, just as I said for anybody who watches the show every day. 2 days ago, what did I say? Low sat coins, guys. It's going to be big, like indoor plumbing. And pretty much across the board, every low sat coin pumped. And again, we don't do like the alt bag, grab a bag, fill them up type shit. No, find the trade setup where your system is telling you to go long. So on the daily, do we have anything? No. Do we have 3 of 3? Yes. Let's go down to lower time frames. 12, no signal. 8, no signal. 8's actually crossing under, so you need to be exiting any 8-hour trade. 6-hour crossed under last 6-hour candle, so you need to be exiting any trade then if you had any position left. 4-hour is coiling. No trade to be taken on the 4-hour. 3-hour gave you a trade on this candle, and assuming as it was a 3-hour chart, let's see here, price ran up about 15%, so I am confident that that is a winner in some capacity. Let's check. 613. Yeah, actually, you caught the exact top of that. You would have made 50% profit on that trade and been out probably right around. No, actually, you haven't even gotten a signal to be out on 3 hours. So you would have entered here on the 3-hour and nothing to do now. Nothing to do right now as far as the 3 hours concerned. Hourly. Nothing on the hourly, nothing on the 30-minute, nothing on the 15-minute. So nothing to do here, bro. Nope. Nothing on TNT right now. But this isn't crazy, man. This is just what happens. The market sometimes does this. Michael Weston, that's probably that's so concise. I'm thinking about writing that on my whiteboard over here as my daily quote. Fibonacci works in nature, clay. Crypto is man-made iron. Does not mix well. Awesome, brother. Boom Shanka, may the seed of your loin be fruitful in the belly of your one. PM, Midwest attempts PM, brother. Ampersand. No problem, man. Let's check out Wabi. Yep. So you can see where we got the signal right here on the daily. And we have to wait. I mean, I need more data. But yeah, it's looking, if it closes as it is right now, this will be an exit. Yes. Because we'll be closing below the baseline. So that will be an exit. Daily hasn't crossed under, so that's not giving us our out. And we definitely haven't hit our stop loss, so that is not giving us an out. And what's so nice about this is that the way that we position size in the group is that this, relative to our capital, is a very small loss. And that's because we position size appropriately with the correct stop loss. So again, most traders would have to hold on to this trade until it hit their stop loss and incur a significant capital loss. We take every signal that our trade gives us because in general, when you get on the right side of the trade, good things like this happen and you catch all the large movements. So you have to take the odds. The odds are in your favor when you utilize the right structure, the right system. Here on Wabi, we took the trade, took the setup, and this will most likely, again, I don't want to say it will most likely be invalidated because it all depends on how the daily candle closes. If the daily candle closes above the daily baseline, we hold the trade because the TT has not crossed to the downside, which it probably will not. If this much volatility to the downside, momentum, excuse me, is the correct term, does not cause us to cross down. So yeah, nothing to do right now, man. We have 4.5 hours until we have to make a decision. If I told you what types of seeds, well, you know. Peanut says, that's funny. I live in Italy and Fibonacci doesn't do squat for me. He didn't say it would work for you if you were Italian. He just said if you weren't Italian, it definitely wouldn't work. Peanut Buddha, thank you so much. Cryptopic says, I figure if his course didn't work, there would be people on here letting us know. That is true, man. Killer Craig, only 60 likes. Some people, man. It's all good. Tudis, what's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. Hey, man, I am a good person and have a balanced family. He's like, okay, this must be the qualifier to ask a question. This man's got to be a good person and have a good family. Awesome, man. Thank you, brother. He says, for an exit, which should I consider more, the lower or higher time frames? Because I have more difficulty in the exits than entering. Yes, the exits is tricky. I recommend if you just start using average true range and multiples of average true range to set your take profit levels. Again, I'm never going to recommend this, but you could also look at Fibonacci extensions. That's the only place I've found that they work very well. But obviously, if you use a lower time frame, you're going to be pushed out of your position much quicker. If you use the higher time frames, the likelihood that you are going to get a break even or a small loss on a trade is greater, but using the higher time frames is going to keep you in a trade when good things happen like this, right? So that's the whole point of our entire strategy, is to catch these movements when they do occur. And our system identifies us when the conditions are ripe that there's a good probability of this happening again. So using the, again, I recommend the higher time frames because the probability of you catching such a bang on trade is higher. If you're trading lower time frames, then obviously you want to be trading. You want to be doing your entries and your exits on whatever time frame that you're trading. Can I check MATIC? Yeah, I looked at MATIC. I did look at MATIC, but I'll look at it again, bro. It's all good. Yeah, so we talked about MATIC as well as MATIC, seller, fetch, BTT, primary entry on all of those coins right here back on the 12th of May. So here's where we would have gotten into MATIC on the 12th of May. Would have exited initially here at about 52% profit, re-entered on the very next candle here. And most likely would have taken Quadrigo profits. I mean, that's 132%, so that is definitely a winner. If not, this is telling us to be out of the rest of our position on the close of this candle. So still a 17.39% trade, so you probably have maybe 10 to 15% of your position left, as we do. And nothing to do on the daily. You have only one of three. So you only have one of three. You cannot go down to lower time frames and look for trades. The 12-hour is turning bearish. Actually, sorry. The 12-hour is bullish because you are above the 12-hour baseline, but you're not getting a good signal. In fact, you're getting a contrarian signal. So nothing to do on the 12, neither on the 8 or the 6. The 6 actually, nope, you can't take a signal because there is no volume. Wadatar is keeping you out. You need gas in the tank. No gas in the tank on the 4 or 3 hour, even though the signals do look okay. Even on the 1 hour, there's no gas in the tank. Even on the 15-minute, no gas in the tank. This is keeping you out of bad trades. Very thankful for that. With all the bad news regarding Tether, what do you recommend using as a stablecoin on Binance? I have no problem with USDT at the current point in time. However, based on what the charts are actually doing, I actually recommend people to be holding PAX or USDS or USDC because they're gaining value against Tether as opposed to holding Tether. Michael Weston says, my neighbor is pissed at me because I told him math was a discovery, not an invention, and he went to college. You know, that's something that's really, really true. Like, people discovered math. And the reality is that I have a really huge bone to pick with the public school system because of the way that they teach math. And this is why I'm not naturally good at math, is because of the way that I was taught. Math is something that is intuitive, right? Math is something that is a way of thinking with your mind that really helps you see the world in a different light. And I can see it in the eyes of those people who naturally grasp it and get it. And so few people do because of the way that public schools, which suck in the first place, teach mathematics. Mathematics, the way that you should be taught mathematics is to discover the system that underlies. And that's what we do in PTP. Again, we do hand you a system that works, but what we focus on is teaching you the underlying method of why it all works. What are the components? What is the algorithm that puts all these pieces together, that puts all these indicators together, that makes it work really well? That is the point, right? That is how we learn to fish. That is how I teach you how to fish, is understanding the structure. It's not the package, right? The package works really well. If you want to trade identical to how I trade, that's absolutely fine. A lot of people do, and a lot of people do choose to do that. But I truly believe that those who actually go through the underlying coursework that is going to be coming out over the next 3 to 6 months, continuing to grow, and actually take the time to do everything that I did to get to where I am, are going to have better results. Because they're going to be able to make something that might even be better than what I have. And I look forward to that. Again, that's why I'm really excited about all the guys that we have in the group. So yeah, exactly. So the way that public school teaches kids to do math is BS, because they give them rote memorization. Here is a formula, crunch it 1,000 times over, and be a calculator. That's not how you should discover math. People should be led to discover, triangles and the way that cosines work and pi, all that stuff naturally. And you can nurture your brain the way that people think. It has to start from an early age. That's what I'm doing with my daughter. It's what I've done with my other 2 children. To understand the way these concepts develop and emerge, the critical thinking way of viewing the universe from a young age, and it's just so important to do that, man. Midwest Attempt says, so if I am in a trade utilizing your strategy, would I get out of the trade just because TT has crossed the zero line? Or would it have to be a combination of baseline and TT? So here's the concept. You have to have an indicator that tells you when to exit the trade. If you close below the baseline, you are out of the trade. If your exit indicator fires, you're out of the trade. If your entry indicator turns against you, you're out of the trade. It's Hard says, that's only 7%. Come on, don't fight with a like button. Thank you, Big Dano622. Thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. Marlon Jones says, entries, exits, and stops are way more important than fibs and trend lines and RSI. Learned that in the course. Thank you, brother. And position sizes are extremely important too. Info you don't get from other YouTubers. Thank you, Marlon. I much appreciate that. Gui says, thanks very much. By the way, I lied. I'm a very, very bad person. Now the power is mine. Thank you, WebDev Newbie. Thank you so much there, brother. Yeah, school is a fail, man. Mike Weston, too, says, wow, the other Mike Weston wants to talk math philosophy. This Mike Weston is a high school math teacher and has a BA in math. I am describing the reason why the school system is switching to Common Core. I'm not a big fan of Common Core, man. It's kind of my problem with everything else. Like, school works really well for the donut, like for the people in the middle, but it doesn't work really well for the really bright people over here, and it doesn't work really well for the really dumb people over here. Again, I think that education should be done. A lot of education should be done. Parents need to take a much more active role in education because it's not the school's job, right? Education needs to be personalized, and education needs to be focused on, again, in my opinion, most of the education that you receive in the public school system is completely superfluous. People need to be taught how to be entrepreneurs, how to manage money, how to invest, how to grow wealth, how to be a good person. Ethics need to be taught in school, morality, discipline, loyalty. All that stuff needs to be taught in school. School should be mostly focused on how to be a good person, not how to understand social studies or science. All that stuff comes naturally when you develop the critical thought mindset, because you make somebody passionate about discovering the way that the universe works and putting those pieces together. But that has to be enveloped in an overall arcing concept of being a good person and contributing to society. Ed McCracken says, come on, Justin. Can't you just give us one trade we can go all in on and 100 XR money and retire next week? No, man. Buy some Bitcoin and hodl it, brother. Cryptopic says, I like your Premium Plus. The Australian dollar debased so much recently, it makes it expensive for me, but should be pushing into cryptocurrency harder for the same reason. I agree, man. 2 + 2 is 4. 1, that's tree, quick maths. God is not the universe. God is a person. About that. Southern New Yorker says, my wife is a grade school teacher here on Long Island. You are 100% correct. Thank you, man. Yeah, agreed. Mike Weston 2 says, agreed, and I don't want us to get off on a school tangent. Yeah, man, you're right. There's just a lot to talk about there. It's one of my passions. That's obviously, as a father, that's one of my big passions is schooling. Something that we talk about a lot at the dinner table. All right, guys, you guys know what time it is. Got a few minutes left. Let's get back on over into the live scene. And let's take a look at the BitMEX chart. All right, currently forming a daily spinning top doji on the daily. Let's go into the lower time frames and see if we've had any positions to take. Again, as we said, the last trade that we could have taken was, and sorry, let's crank this baby back up to 10, something we've been doing on the live stream lately. Go take a look. And right here, see right here on this candle, 0730 on the 23rd. So today, this is a beautiful long signal from Pete. This is a beautiful 30-minute PTP long signal. I mean, it's perfect. 3 of 3. And exit. Exit on this close, 1.91%. Done for the day. Ethereum gave you the exact other. Oh, we missed the tunes. Oh, we can throw them on. That was loud. That down a little bit, shall we? Sorry. Yeah, sometimes I forget, guys. I'm sorry. All right, anyways, so, oh, you know what? We didn't talk about any of this news. Let's go through it. All right, so this is from copyright.gov, and for unrelated reasons, I was also on this website earlier this morning, but May 22nd, 2019, questions about certain Bitcoin registrations. So all this press release from the Copyright Office, the United States Copyright Office, is just affirming that, yes, when somebody with $55 in a stable internet connection, so all you need to register a copyright is $55 in a stable internet connection. So Craig Wright paid $55 and used his probably stable internet connection to go to the U.S. Copyright Office and register the Bitcoin white paper as well as the Bitcoin code. That is automatically granted by the U.S. Copyright Office because the individual asserting ownership rights or copyright rights has to certify that they are entitled, that they actually own the work that they are filing the copyright for. The Copyright Office does not do any investigation. So in their own words, they say, as a general rule, when the Copyright Office receives an application for registration, the claimant certifies as to the truth of the statements made in the submitted materials. The Copyright Office does not investigate the truth of any statement made. A registration represents a claim to an interest in a work protected by copyright law, not a determination of the truth of the claims therein. It is possible for multiple adverse claims to be registered at the Copyright Office. So basically, this is just saying that the Copyright Office doesn't do disputes. So if you have a dispute with somebody who files a copyright, you can't dispute it at the Copyright Office. You have to actually take them to court. Now, If somebody takes disputes over the claims in a registration may be heard before federal courts, including disputes over authorship of a work. This is exactly what I said yesterday. Somebody needs to take this fraud to court and de-pants him in front of the world because he has no legal standing. Well, excuse me, he might find legal standing. That's the laws of men. But he definitely doesn't have any ethical or logical standing because he's not Satoshi Nakamoto. He didn't write the Bitcoin code. Somebody who intentionally includes false information in an application, i.e. claiming to be somebody that they are not or claiming to have ownership of somebody that they do not have ownership of, may be subject to penalties. In the case of the two registrations issued to Mr. Wright, during the examination process, the office took note of the well-known pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto and asked the applicant to confirm that Craig Stephen Wright was the author and claimant of the works being registered. Mr. Wright made that confirmation. That's it. So Craig Wright went to copyright.gov, said, yo, I own the Bitcoin white paper. I made it. It's mine. Yo, y'all lock that down. And I also wrote the code, so let me get that. It's mine, it's copyrighted. Is that cool? And they're like, yep, cool. You sure you're Satoshi? He's like, yep, I'm Satoshi. Not a problem. They're like, all right, we're trusting you. He's like, yeah, I'm totally Satoshi, man. That's all that went down. So, looking forward to this falling apart when somebody takes this man to court. Because this dude's a fucking tyrant, a bully, snob, a sneer. He's fucking ugly too, man. Douchebag. Even as Bitcoin SV enjoyed a Craig Wright Satoshi bump Tuesday, the U.S. Copyright Office was hard at work dispelling notions that it officially recognized anyone as the inventor of Bitcoin. In short, any claim that the U.S. government has registered Wright as the author of Bitcoin are spurious at best. Why did the government go to the trouble of clarifying this point? Wright's actions required it. On Tuesday, a press representative sent a widely read release that suggested, in short, that the government accepted Wright was Satoshi. The U.S. Copyright Office, on the other hand, doesn't actually recognize anyone for anything. Ultimately, it is a repository designed for protecting the creators of art and literature. But it's not an immutable source of truth. Like, okay, let's not go there. So there you guys go. Bitfinex and Tether claim a, in air quotes, victory in court battle with the New York Attorney General's office. So the quick take of this is a New York Supreme Court judge, what was his name? Cohen, the same one who said that kind of nonsensical statement about Tether and Bitcoin the other day. He has granted a stay of documents, basically saying that the New York Attorney General's office has a limited scope of documents that Bitfinex and Tether have to produce per the course of their investigation. So, Bitfinex is obviously calling this decision a victory and hailing the Supreme Court, saying, oh my God, we love the Supreme Court of New York now. We just love you so much. We're going to invite you to our next birthday party. Whereas previously they were like, man, fuck these guys. You guys can't do nothing. We're not even going to work with you guys. Again, none of this is really surprising. This is just how law works. It's all slimy and squiggly. But, the Honorable Joel M. Cohen of the New York Supreme Court today granted a motion that limits the scope of the documents Bitfinex and Tether must produce at the request of the NYAG's office. Bitfinex and Tether had filed a motion to dismiss the case outright, but the judge was like, nah, man, like we got a little bit of standing, not like a whole lot of standing, but a little bit. So, if Cohen rules that Tether and Bitfinex currently have no ties to New York and no previous ties over what the court deems a reasonable amount of time, the state will no longer have jurisdiction over the case. Wah, wah, wah. $200 million in crypto was seized by Dutch law enforcement. BestMixer.io got shut down by the Dutch Fiscal Information and Investigation Service, FIOD, in cooperation with Europol. Ooh, baby. Well, that sucks, guys. Guess we're just going to have to use BitMixer or BitBlender.io. Make sure you use the Tor website, of course. Bitfinex and partner Ethfinex say no plans for regulatory approval for their new platform. Of course, that regulatory platform or non-regulated platform is going to be TokenX, a new initial exchange offering platform. So, you guys look forward to your IEOs all day long. This is the next level of pump and dump, guys. ICOs are coming back, as they do. Always the scams come back at the beginning of the market. And Bitcoiner slam Andrew Yang for Cash is King comment. Here's the thing, man. I like Andrew Yang. Obviously, I lean extremely politically very far away from him and disagree with the concept of universal basic income. But what I will say is that they make a lot of good points. So I like Andrew Yang. He seems like he really believes what he's talking about, but they slammed him for saying that cash was king. So you guys want to go check that article out. That's on bitcoinist.com. And here we are patiently waiting, me anyways, patiently waiting for PHB to be listed on Binance. Kind of just going to eagerly sit here and refresh until I can sell my position that I had in PHX before they locked me out. King Kess says, my picture for this video has a misspelling, bro. Scott, there's a misspelling on the thumbnail, bro. Anyways, guys, hey, man, you know what time it is. Let's switch on over here. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Highly appreciate all the support, all the love. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Of course, if this is your first time to the channel, if you are just discovering us for some reason, I don't know why, we've been around for a long time, but we get new guys in once in a while. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you are watching us on YouTube, or give us a follow either across Twitch or DLive. Make sure you hit the thumbs up either on Facebook or YouTube as well. We highly appreciate that. Of course, subscribe. We're going to be here every single day. Make sure you get some notifications and never miss our live show, because we are here every single day from noon to 2, breaking down the markets. 5 to 7 on the weekends, guys. Crypto Meister, enjoy your vacation, brother. Now, if you guys have any questions, comments, sarcastic remarks, concerns, and or death threats, make sure to leave them in the comments section down below, as well as your personal address if it is a death threat. I'll come talk to you about it. We'll work it out. Now, if you guys would like to receive private mentoring, access to our team of analysts and traders, introduction to our private Discord community, our proprietary indicators, our educational material, access to our PTP course, and if you want to learn how we do things at Kraken Cryptocurrency, you can, of course, in addition, you also get signals. Yes, we do that as well. You can check the link up at the top of the screen or in the top of the description, premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. Be happy to work with you guys and add you to the team. Other than that, I will be here tomorrow, guys. Same Kraken Crypto time, same Kraken Crypto Network. You can also watch us on Roku now, guys. Investors News Channel on Roku. Go check it out. They stream us live as well. I'm out, guys. Trade safely. I'll catch you in the next one.